Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Library of Ruina. So essentially what happened in the last video was we did more invitations and we actually finished things off with doing a really tricky invitation, but we were able to succeed and come out on top, even though Philip, once again for the second time, ran away like a coward. But anyway, we are still continuing on. I've actually updated some decks, so let's take a look at them, shall we? So firstly with Salvador, I've changed things a lot. I've pretty much turned Salvador's deck into a burn deck. So pretty much like a few of the cards are still there, like what a taste of this chain and Flash of Surnap. But we've replaced the middle cards and scratched that with 2 Searing Swords and 2 Feather Shields. Also, I've updated the passive abilities with Sayo's combat page of Battle Ready, which draws 2 more pages at the start of the act. So instead of starting with 3 pages, we start with 5. And also, Dark Cloud Blade, which gives us slash dice power +1. And as you can see, it's pretty much a slashing burn deck, so that's pretty cool. Olga is pretty much unchanged. Mars is, so you might notice a lot of Mars is pretty much the exact same deck and passives as Salvador. So I just felt like, I want to double up on that burn damage. Pretty much same passives, same everything. Eventually, we are coming up soon to the point where Mars will probably become, I guess, discontinued, shall we say, because we're about to get some better key pages very soon. But for the time being, he's sticking around with this burn deck. Also, our newest addition, Oscar. So pretty much with Oscar, I decided to go with a piercing deck. So we got 2 weight ups, which restore 1 lat. We got high speed stabbing, which is a 0 cost piercing card, pretty decent. We have a mend weapon, which is a card I personally like, and it's actually going to be a card that I'm probably going to be using in a lot of decks and a lot of builds in the future. So pretty much what you do is, when the combat starts, it boosts Pierce stats, power by 1 for the C. So not for the act, for the C. But every time you use it, you restore 1 lat, which is also pretty good. We got 3 sparkling spears. Every time we use it, we draw a page. So we're getting the drawing up. And then we also got Transpierce, which is also a really good card. It's pretty much kind of like the reverse. What was the other card? Crack of Dawn. It's pretty much like the reverse Crack of Dawn, where your damage goes first, and on hit you do an extra 5 damage, and then the speed, and then the block die comes in. But also we got Collision, which I really love this card as well. On Clash Win, just restore lights. If it hits twice, you automatically get 2 restores, so that's also pretty good. As for his passives, I decided to go with Solidarity, which is essentially at the end of every scene, if all of your allies are alive, so if you have no deaths, then pretty much every scene you gain a strength, which is really good. However, this does come with a drawback, and that is, if everyone is dead and Oscar's the only one standing, he pretty much gains 2 feeble, which is not good. But the odds of Oscar being the only one to be left alive, the odds of that are pretty low, so the negatives aren't really that bad, and the positives are really good. Also got Keeping in Strad, which just recovers 1 HP upon winning a clash. And so that's kind of like my main build at the moment. We also do have the Firing Squad, which is really good. So the way I'm going to be handling things between these two floor builds is, whenever I come upon a floor which has loads of enemies that I just need to get rid of really quickly, I'm probably going to go with the firing squad. But if we come upon a floor where it's more of like a drawn out battle and you kind of got to take things at a slow pace, then I'll probably go with the Netzach floor. So I'm going to be using the Netzach floor for this build. So with that out of the way, let's get into our final invitation of the Urban Plague. What? Oh no, no. Oh crap. Yeah, so this tends to happen. I didn't even realize it. So hang on a second. I'll be right back. We gotta redo this battle so I can get the Dalek books. And we're back, everyone. And this time we got the Book of Dalek. So as you can see, you can probably understand how if I did not have this mod that just gives me tons of every book that we actually get access to, how much of a grind this game can really be. Now, the reason why I didn't have the Dalek book is because I didn't actually get any of them in the first battle. The mod only kicks in if we actually win the book. So there might be times where I don't win the book at all and I actually have to go back and kind of grind for the book. And so yeah, but with that out of the way, let's finally send our first invitation. Oh, we're back on the never-ending train rad. Tommy, you probably don't want to know.
Tommy, 起きたのね。ごめんね。私もよくわからないな。どれだけ過ぎたのかわからないな。
Honestly, I feel like by this point, Olga's group probably got off pretty light compared to what the alternative was.
10日ほど過ぎました。
I personally would rather get turned into a book than be stuck on a train that is never going to stop. 10 days! Holy crap, how the hell is no one dead?
気がつきましたか？3日も気絶なさってましたよ。
ワープ列車って10秒以内に到着するんじゃなかったんですか？
It's either a malfunction or someone's been telling some lies.
どうしてこうなったんですか？僕たちはどうなるんですか？
It's the never-ending train rad.
どこなんですか？
Where the hell did they disappear to?
私もよくわかりませんね、トミーさん。ああ、あなたの名前は隣の恋人さんからお聞きしました。私は看護師として働いているエレナと申します。こちらは私の病院の先生である。
Are they like... This is like a warp train. What are they, like, stuck in a different dimension?
はじめまして。
Where's the conductor at? Isn't he gonna relate to everyone what's going on?
あなたが気絶してる間、この方が看護してくれたのよ。
こんな状況は私も初めてです。ワープは頻繁に利用してたんですよ。いつもは10秒くらい目をつむっていれば。
It's gone from a 10-second trip to a 10-day trip.
先生はこういった事故に関して何かご存知ですか？
俺も全くない。こんな欠陥は W 社からしても致命的なのに。
W 社の心配なんかしてる場合ですか？ここに閉じ込められて飢え死にする羽目になったじゃないですか。
トミー、実は
私の方から申し上げますね。3日間眠っていらしたトミーさん、今喉の渇きは感じていらっしゃいますか？
What?
気絶している間、いかなる水分の摂取もなかったのですが。
So you're saying while they're stuck, they don't even need to eat?
喉全然乾いて。
Alright, something fishy's going on. The only way like that's possible is that like when they warped, their body got stuck in stasis. So it's like It's kind of similar to, you know how like, you know, like vampires and stuff don't age, where they're like bodies are fixed at a certain point. So even though 10 days have gone by, their bodies are stuck to right before they went on the warp train, or like stuck before, like right before they warped. Like their bodies are stuck in stasis.
ここでは誰も飢えや喉の渇きを感じていません。
That's wild.
正確に言うと、生命維持に関連した生理現象にはいかなる問題も発生していません。
どうしてそんなことが？一体何が起こってるんですか？
そこまでは分かりませんね。少し待ってみましょう。
時間ですか？
I mean, like, how much time are we talking? You can't just like stay there forever, right?
トミー、疲れたならまたちょっと目を閉じててもいいのよ。私
僕もだ、メアリー。ずっとそばにいるから。
15 days in.
トミー、トミー。
メアリー、どうしたんだい？どうしてこんなにうるさいんだ？
トミー、早く起きて、大変よ。
こうなるとは予想していたけど。
What's going on? Are people gone insane and like starting to kill each other or something?
一体何が？
隣の車両で騒ぎが起こったようです。
今何やってるんだ？
よく見ろ！よく見とけよ！
Oh God! Did this guy just turn into like a religious nut? That usually tends to happen.
こんな閉鎖された空間に2週間もいれば、こういうことが起こるものだ。
あの人、今
He just killed
自
himself.
分の首を切ったんですか？
Didn't work though.
これは興味深いわね。
確かにエイリーンが何の考えもなしに送ったわけじゃなかったな。
Eileen?
これ見ろ。
What?
首が
He sliced his own neck and he's not dying.
すぐに死ねない。
What's... So is his like blood in stasis too? So he's just forever dripping blood and he's not down from it? This is one messed up train ride.
トミーが、トミー。
こっちにメアリー。
16 days in. There's no help.
トミーさん、お目覚めで。
You know what? I do have to say this. This, whatever the hell is going on here, I feel like would be a very interesting Doctor Who episode. This is totally the sort of like thing like the Doctor would need to figure out and solve.
メアリーさんは精神的なショックが大きかったようです。
ですね。まだ寝てますね。あの人はどうなったんですか？
先ほど首を切った人は他の車両に隔離しました。
Is he still alive though?
300人も乗った列車の中でそんなことをやる人は一人や二人では済ま
Well,
ない。
yeah, it gets to a point where they just can't take it anymore, so they try to kill themselves to just be released from this nightmare, only to realize they can't die.
隔離って死んだんじゃないんですか？そんなに血を流したら死ぬはずなのに、死体に対して隔離だなんておかしいじゃないですか。
驚くべきことにそうなんです。動脈が切断されているのに
How?
生きているんです。
It's like everything has been frozen in time.
溢れ出る血が床にまき散らされているというのに、その血と肉が体から分離しないんです。
What? So the blood is still connected to the body like a stream or a flow? Oh man, I can't even picture that visual.
血の一滴くらいは床に跳ねたり染み込んだりするはずなんですけど、その人と一体化してくっついていたんですよ。そして精神を保ったまま意思表示をしていたんですよ。おそらく今でも首を切った苦痛を味わってるかと。
一体何なんですか？こんなことありえるんですか？
わかりません。ごめんなさいトミーさん、同じ答えばかり返してしまって。
いいえ、エレナさんに全ての答えを求める
I mean,
僕が悪いんですし。
if I was in a situation like that, I would start questioning Laugh. Like, what the hell is going on?
それでも一つだけわかることがある。
何ですか？
おそらくこれが始まりだということ。
What do you mean by that, sir? What do you mean it's only the beginning?
気をしっかり持たないといけないでしょう。
お隣にいらっしゃる恋人さんのためにもです。
はい、そうしないとですね。
30 days in. Wow.
トミー、隣の車両の美穂さんに聞いたんだけど、もう30両中5両が自殺。
心配しないでメアリー。
So it seems like people, they can't take it anymore, so they're trying to off themselves.
あのエレナとゼホン様のおかげだよ。この車両だけじゃなくても隣の6両くらいはあの方を信じて耐えているみたいだ。
そう、お医者さんだからなのかとても落ち着いているからみんな安心していられるんだ。
そうですね。エレナ様とゼホン様がいなければ。
メアリー、変なことは考えないようにしようか。
93 days! What? We just did like a 60-day time skip.
皆さん、状況が悪化しています。
Holy wow. Look at this! They've gone insane! And of course there always has to be a scary little girl amongst the action.
私たちのいる7両を含む5から15両まではまだ団結できていますが、15両以降は深刻な状況になっています。3日前までは。
How many carriages are this again? Does this train carry again?
その通りです。19両はもう死者でいっぱいだって聞きました。
無差別的に突っかかってきて人々の体を漁りながらまるで
Oh, okay.
遊んでいるようだって
This is where the craziness is coming, where they're like, hey, we're stuck in a train, might as well live out all my sickest and darkest desires, like ravaging people. And that can mean a number of different things. I mean, like, look at this guy, he's having fun just stabbing that poor dude. I think this guy just pulled out someone's spleen. Wow.
そうです。
I don't even want to imagine what the little girl was up to.
あの人たちはおそらくこの途方もなく長い時間を耐えるため苦痛を受け入れようとしてるのかと思われます。
頭おかしいんじゃないですか。暇つぶしのためだけに互いを殺し合うだなんて。
死んだわけじゃないけど。
Yeah, true. They can't die. I kind of forgot about that.
メアリー、手足ブラブラの状態で這いつくばって動いてるようじゃ死んだも同然だってば。
そうだ、俺たちは耐えなければならない。自発的に自分の体をいじるのはどうしようもないが、他人にそういった苦痛を強いるのはありえない。
エレナ様、ゼホン様、私たちはどうしたらいいんですか。私の弟たちもそんな奴らにやられたらどうしましょう。
大事な人と離れたくはないだろう。せめていつ解放されるかわからない長い時間の中で愛する人と永遠を共にしたいだろう。
はい、そ
ゼホン様、何か方法があるんですか？
私もトミーと離れたくないです。トミーもそうでしょ？
Right.
当たり前だよ。
それなら私たちを信じてください。
I don't know, some shades going on.
皆さんの同意が必要なんです。
This has to go beyond
あの人
just
た
a
ちと戦わ
malfunction.
なければいけません。
Whatever's happening here is almost starting to feel it pretty intentional.
戦うって。
大事な人と引き離そうとする15両以降の悪い人たちのことです。
100 days in.
狂ってる。みんな狂ってるって。
トミーさん、まだ迷ってらっしゃるんですか？
トミー、あの方を見てそこまで悪くないと思うわ。もちろん私もショックを受けてないわけじゃない。トミーと永遠に一緒なら、それなら耐えられると思うの。
ごめんメアリー、もう少しだけ時間を。
トミーさん、ここで溢れ返るほどに余ってるのが時間ですが、私たちに残された時間は。
無理強いはしない。選択次第だ。
113 days in.
やります。
Okay, so whatever they wanted him to do, it took him 13 days to decide.
やりますってば。
トミー、
お決まりですね。
What has he decided though? What can he decide in a situation like this?
14両の人がどうなってるのか、この目ですでにあいつらにやられて、苦痛で目を向きながらよだればっかり垂らしてたんだ。メアリー、君をそういう風にはさせない。
トミー、私もよ。
よろしいですね。すぐに開始いたします。
What? The procedure? What
先
procedure?
生、すぐ準備を。
I'm going to assume that this is not some sort of dental procedure. Okay, 120 days in.
トミー、調子はどう？
So it took them 7 days to recover from whatever happened.
よくわかんない。でもこれで安心だ。君の生々しい心臓の音を感じられ。
私もよ。私たちは離れないの。
Okay. This feels pretty off to me. 150 days in.
皆さんの愛のおかげで
Will the train people ever be saved?
先生方が私たちに新しい体をくださったおかげですよ。
New bodies? What? Okay, I have some questions.
よかったですね。皆さんの愛がお互いを守ったんですよ。
先生、10両から急な支援要請が来ました。
トミーさん、メアリーさん、10両に行って力を貸してあげられますか？
はい。でも私たちは戦ったことなんて、力もそんなに。
Okay, that was kind of freaky that they're like talking the same sentence.
きっと互いを思う心が新しい体に力を与えるでしょう。
What does that mean, your new body?
わかりました。信じます。
What kind of time skip was this? It went from 153 days to 3,437 days. That's like 10 years in the future.
自殺者をぎゅうぎゅう詰めに押し込むくらいはたやすくなったわね、トミー。
だよね。先生の言う通り、互いを思う心が僕らに力を与えたんだ。
ボコボコにしてもゾロゾロと這い寄ってくるわね。
それでもしばらくは静かにしてくれるだろうね。
町へようこそ、トミーさん、メアリーさん。
Town? They built a town on a train?
トミーとメアリーこそこの愛の街のヒーローだよ。
What the fuck? What the hell is this? How does someone even get to look like that? It looks just like an amalgamation of body parts stitched together into one. And why is there a mouth there with teeth? I can see Tommy and Mary's heads at least. What the hell is this? Is this the new body that we're talking about? Just the amalgamation of different body parts clumped together into one giant mass?
Tommy! Mary! Kakkoi!
Does that spell love in, like, intestines? I'm guessing this is what 10 years of solitude from the outside world would do to people. $724,284 days in! Hold up. If 3,065 days, or 3,650 days is 10 years, that would mean around 30,000 would be 100 years. 300,000 would be 1,000 years. Double that, which would equal around 720,000 days. 2,000 years in! Holy crap. So this would be in like the year 4000 and something.
来たわね、トマリ。
どうしたの、お母さん。
Oh great, now they're referring to her as mommy? She's the one that caused this mess.
最近どう？変わりない？
No sane person would ever agree to do this. I'm just guessing that Tommy and Mary's wills just broke. And they agreed to whatever the hell this is.
ずっと同じです。血の塊を四角に折るか三角に折るか悩むくらい。
素晴らしいわ。
Oh great, it seems like all that time alone from the outside world has turned them dumb into like probably even dumber than Neanderthals.
そのお父さんは
ちょっと前の車両に用事があるの。
And I have another question. If they literally spent 2,000 years in this carriage, how come she's not crazy? How come the doctor's not crazy? I sense some shenanigans going on.
それでどうしたの、お母さん。
And they're not even called Tommy and Mary anymore. They've just combined the names to Mary.
ようやく面白いものを受け取ったのよ。エイリーンの言う通りなら、あいつらも見るだけ見たって。
Who is this Aileen character? Wait a minute. Isn't Aileen... Wasn't she the Church of Gears woman? That was picked up by the Blue Reverberation guy? I'm pretty sure that's Aileen. I don't know what the connection between the two are.
面白いもの？
図書館の招待状。
The lab, oh
前に
no.
都市伝説で有名だった図書館。
Elena, please don't, whatever you do not send that thing to us. I don't even know where to begin.
あなたたちの後ろにいたフィクサーがこの招待状を受け取って忽然と姿を消したじゃない。
Sucks for you, lady. We're an urban plague now. I do kind of find it funny that when they went in, we were an urban legend, so she thinks we're an urban legend. But in that time, she was doing whatever the hell this is. We evolved into an urban plague.
ごめんなさい、お母さん。図書館って何？前っていつのこと？
ああ、そっか。こりゃ申し訳ないわね。
That sounds like an evil laugh. Was she the one who malfunctioned the train in the first place?
お母さんはごめんなさいしなくてもいいんだよ。私たちがバカだからごめんね。
いやいや、きっとあの方なら笑いすぎてちょっとは涙が出たでしょうね。
Yes, he would be laughing at how stupid you two were.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。お願いだから、お仕置きだけは。
誓ってるわけじゃないのよ。お仕置きもしないし。さあ、受け取って。それに、町の人と一緒にサインすればいいのよ。
Oh, great.
もし無事にその紙に書かれた本を持ってこれたら成功よ。ご褒美をあげるわ。
ご褒美、わかりました。
どうせ帰ってこれないでしょうけど。
She even knows that they're not gonna make it back because the library is impenetrable.
724,284日
724,284 days? My thoughts exactly, Roland. Even Angela is just shook by what you witnessed.
大丈夫。気分が優れないように見えるけど。
虫巣が走る。私が人間じゃないせいで
trust me, Angela. That is one human trait you do not want.
いくらなんでもあんなのを見ればそうなるよな。一体あの列車にどういう問題が起きて1000年以上も止まってるんだよ。外は大丈夫なのか？
Yeah, something shady's going on.
俺が見た感じだとそこまで時間は経ってない気がするんだけど、俺たちもあれをぼんやり眺めてたらえらく時間が過ぎてたりはしないのか？
私たちは因果の断片しか見てないから1時間も経ってないわ。
Yeah, so time rolls differently. So we only spent an hour. Really? So it took us an hour of time to watch that. While for them it was 700,000 years.
でも図書館の外は
きっと外の時間も過ぎてないはずよ。あのゲストは特別よ。
So the time inside the train is different. Listen, I know we're about to kill you and turn you into a book, but can you please not get blood and guts on the carpets? We just cleaned that.
こうやって町の人と一緒に新しい場所に来れるなんて。
歓迎いたします。
こんにちは。あなたは誰ですか？
図書館の館長兼司書、アンジェラです。
愛の町のトマリーです。アンジェラ、私、お母さんにここから本っていうものを持って帰ってこいって言われたんです。
あちらの扉に入っていけばお探しいただけます。
ありがとうです。
あなたはトミーとメアリーのことを覚えていますか？
トミー？メアリー？誰ですか？
They've been stripped of everything that's made them human.
お気になさらず、どうかあなたの本が見つかりますように。
Okay, so we are gonna go into this battle with the actually no. Should we go into it with the Tamaki or the Nedzak? It's weak to piercing. Oh, slashing isn't effective. So different. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna go into this battle with... So we can use 2 floors. So we're gonna go into this battle with Netzak's crew. Alright. Now, okay, so the way this battle works is each... I guess I'm gonna call them pieces of flesh. Have a different... one where they're immune to. So these 2 are immune to piercing and these 2 are immune to slashing. So what you want to do, oh, that one's immune to blunt. So what you want to do is you want to like just hit them with abilities that they don't, that they're not really immune to. Okay. Also, you're probably gonna wanna... Okay. You're also probably gonna wanna, like, clash with the ones that have cards that says add 10 power if it's one-sided. We're gonna do that. Okay, yeah, because that hits everything with one, so that one's immune to piercing. So we're probably going to use Searing Sword and Flash of Cernip. Again, yeah, we're going to use Searing Sword and Flash of Cernip. And this one, we're going to use Transpierce. And there we go. So you just want to pretty much clash with all of them. Because you don't want the plus 10 power to go off if it's like a one-sided battle. There we go. Yeah, we're stacking that burn damage. Alright. And pretty much just gonna keep it up. So yeah, so we're gonna hit that one with the two. There we go. Oh, okay, so that one we're probably gonna use Fierce Onslaught against that. Gonna use another Flash of Cernip. And a Taste of Chains. And then for this one, probably just continue with the Searing Sword. Actually, no, we'll take that one back. We're gonna use Searing Sword against that one. No, yeah. So we use the Searing Sword, and we'll also use Feather Shield, which will leave the final one. Unfortunately, it's immune to piercing. Alright. So we're gonna use that one for there, and then we're going to use the piercing damage for here, and we're going to use Mend Weapon. Alright, there we go. Alright, just keep it up. Yeah, so pretty much this section of the battle isn't too difficult. You're just gonna want to like not allow them to kind of one-side you in attack. Because otherwise, then they'll do a lot of damage to you. Alright, so now we're down to 2, so everything becomes fatal. Alright, just gonna do Searing Sword and... You know, yeah, we'll use another Feather Shield. Do a second Feather Shield there, and then we'll hit the first... Alright, so we'll hit this guy with the piercing. Even though piercing isn't effective, we should be able to get the stagger down to 0, which will make it... Which will stagger him. Like so. And then we just finish off the main two. And there's nothing else to it. There we go. Alright, so this is where the battle gets like really difficult. So pretty much, so again, the Lovestown people are not that much of an issue. It's Tamari that's the huge problem. So pretty much, you've got two options for how to handle this battle. You can either go in with Netzach, pretty much kill all the townspeople and then go after Tamari. The risk with that is that the higher the emotion gets for Tamari, the stronger he gets. Every time his emotion goes up, I believe he gets an extra combat dice, and he just becomes more powerful in general. So that's an option. Or you can do the more riskier option and go in with your firing squad and try to just kill Tamari outright, like as quickly as possible. Now, in doing this, the townspeople will mess you up huge, since you're just going to be focusing on Tamari and not on the townspeople, so they'll most likely be getting that 10 power on you. But Tamari is like the bigger issue. Another problem is, and the reason why I actually am going to do option 2 is, if you go in with option 1 and you kill everybody, but Tamari ends up killing you, he will end up resetting all of the Lovetown people, and they end up coming back for the second act anyway. And so, the way I handle this battle is I try to kill Tamari as quickly as possible. So that's why I'm going in with my firing squad. That's why I went into Act 1 with Netzach's crew, because I didn't want any of them to get too badly damaged. Alright. So pretty much what you want to do is... Yeah, so pretty much what you want to do is you just want to have everyone to just target Tamari and ignore the other dudes. Now this is risky because of the one-sided adding of the 10 power. But in my honest opinion, Tamari is the bigger problem. Now I wouldn't do this strategy if we only had one act to... If we only had one act to kill Tamari, but the fact is we get 2, so even if Tamari himself doesn't die, as long as you at least kind of get him close to death, so the second squad can come in and pretty much finish him off, and once he's gone, the townsfolk pretty much becomes easy. So that's how I handle this. So here we go. Yeah, I also did not want that +3 strength on everybody to go through. Yeah, so you pretty much just want to blitz Tamari. You do not want Tamari's emotion going up. See, I mean, like, look at the amount of damage we're doing. Yeah, so this is what happens when +10 power goes through. Alright, so one of us becomes staggered. Yeah, okay. He just decided to bloody the battlefield for some reason. Alright, there we go. Just continue to go after Tamari. Yeah, you want to get rid of him as quickly as possible before he becomes a problem. Oh, wow. Also, having I hate QCQ pretty much works well as well. Okay, here we go. Yes, we're gonna go with that. We're gonna heal. Alright. So, we almost got him down. And the fact that we are pretty much ranged is also helpful since we tend to kind of go before. Alright, there we go. Alright, we got him to 11. Yeah, we're gonna get the burn damage. Okay. Now, hopefully, this does enough to kill him. Alright, we get 3. There we go, we got Tamari. Okay. Now that Tamari is done with, the rest of the battle should be pretty simple. Yeah, we're gonna do Gluttony. Now, all that's left is the other pages. So, we'll probably try to go after someone that's not Pierce. Yeah, so this is good. So, even if... So, we are probably going to lose this floor, but... Now that Tamari's gone, it becomes a cinch. Alright. Alright, so pretty much you're just gonna... Yeah, it's pretty much just gonna target. It doesn't really matter who you go after. It's pretty simple. You're gonna use Flash Cerner. Gonna use that Searing Sword and the Feather to get the burn on. And then the fourth one, you can pretty much just attack whoever you want. Alright, there we go. Yeah, so as I mentioned, with the way I went into this battle, it is a riskier option, but with like if you have like the build that I have for the firing squad, you shouldn't have too much trouble. You should at least be able to either get Tamari's health down to 0 and kill him, or at least get it down to a point where you're the next floor that you bring in kills him in the first turn. I'm just gonna finish him up with a trance pierce. Here we go. And there we go.
Well,
I'm going to assume we will find out at some point.
ま、どんなことでも起こりうるからな。ちょっとは慰めになったか。
全く私は違うわ。私は二度と同じ目には合わないから。 私はあの人と違って自分のことを守り抜いた。
I can see she's still holding on to that resentment.
私は時間に蝕まれずに耐え切ったの。私は崩れなかったの。私は。
Alright, Angela, you need to calm down. You're letting your human emotions show.
ちょっと落ち着いて一息しようか。ふと辛い記憶で胸がいっぱいになった時にはそれを重く受け止めないといけないんだ。
Yeah, we are now in urban nightmare. And this is where hard mode activates. So I said with urban plague, that's when the game starts and the game starts getting difficult. Urban nightmare is where I guess hard mode is turned on, where you will probably experience problems and defeat unless you know how to deal, unless you know, I guess, the tips and tricks on how to deal with every battle. Alright, so urban nightmare. The dream has been shattered. The tower has collapsed.
これでエルシャ、白夜黒昼、ねじれ、そして図書館。この4つの要因が一つになった。
まさかって思ったよ。図書館が白夜黒昼の鍵だったとはね。
Seems like everything started with the library.
特定できなかった図書館の位置についてもまたようやく観測が完了した。図書館の危険性が向上するほどその実態が明らかになっているのだろうか。
霧が立ち込めるエルシャの巣の中、蜃気楼のように揺れる図書館。みんな近づこうとしたけど、いつの間にか道に迷ったのよね。私たちもそろそろ準備した方がいいでしょう。あの幻想は霧が晴れていくと同時にだんだんと現実へと近づいているから。
それなら。
ええ、公文書が送られてきたわ。今日から図書館は花協会本部に都市悪夢として指定されたから。
We're moving up in the world.
何に？
Yeah, I mean, how many more books do you need? I mean, look at this. This place is overloaded with them.
そりゃあ君が望んでた自由に近づいてるかってことだよ。
わからないわね。でもたった一つの
She's still looking for the one book to rule them all.
その本さえあれば君が望むすべてをきれいさっぱり解決できるのか。
図書館は言葉通り無限の可能性を秘めた空間よ。存在し得るすべての綴りを本にしたためるの。でも単なる可能性のかけらを集めてもそれはゴミに過ぎないわ。あまたの可能性の中から私が必要とするたった一つの本が作られるように編み上げてくれるのが招待状が導く通り、本と光を編み上げればたった一つの本が完成するはず。欲するすべての答えがしたためられた本を作ることができるの。
確かに理論上は不可能じゃないけど、
理論的な可能性にだけすがってるわけじゃないの。たった一つの本を作る過程で都市のさまざまな面を見て学べたの。これにも意味があるわ。そして再び悟ったの。本がなければこの都市で答えを得る方法がないってこと。
都市じゃ答えを得られないだって。
都市の人々をはじめいろいろな本を読んで分かったことがあるの。都市では誰もが不自由ってこと。みんなどこかに縛られているということよ。自分がやりたいからできることはないみたいね。フィクサーは事務所の命令を、事務所は教会の命令を受けて命を投げるの。みんなどこかに向かっているけど決まった目的地はない。これは自分で決められることでもないし。
都市じゃ金さえあれば自由でも何でも望むものが手に入るはずなんだが。
自由にはなれるけど実際そうでもないわ。自分以外の何かに従いたがっているの。時には所属で、時には他人による評価で、本質が脆すぎるせいで殻がなければ自分を特定できないから流されていくの。そう、都市の人は病気にかかっているというのはこういう意味でしょう。
And that's what you were trying to fix before you messed everything up.
結局 都市の人の自由のために私は地下に閉じ込められて利用されたってことよ。私の自由を代償に誰かに自由を与えるため、自分が悟ったことを都市にばらまくため。
昔の職場の話か。
ええ、むしろこのくらいになると全部ぶち壊したくなるわ。私の自由は無責任に私を作っておいて、苦痛の中に放り込んだ責任は誰が負ってくれるの？
Yeah, like you can tell, like she has had it rough. That doesn't allow you to try to crush everybody though.
たまには図書館だとかたった一つの本だとか全て投げ捨てて全部忘れ
Then
て
please
しま
do.
う。
I'm sick and tired of trying to kill all these fools.
生まれた瞬間から徹底的に拒絶されるのってどういう感じなのかわかる？私はわかるわ。私を作った人がそうだったから。いっそどういうところがダメだったか言ってくれればよかったのに。
So it seems like her creator treated her like a piece of trash.
私が受けたのはそのいかなる期待すらこもっていない冷たい目線とかすめていった一言だったわ。普通の人なら聞こえもしない小さなつぶやき。結局はただの機械だってことが。今でも私はその瞬間をまるでついさっき起こったかのごとく鮮明に思い出せるものだから恨めしいわ。聞きたくないことも聞こえる私の体と覚えていたくないものを忘れられない私の頭。
その人も本当に意地が悪いな。反復作業が必要ならどうして倫理改正案まで破りながら人間みたいな感情を持てるように君を作ったんだ。
最初から感情を感じられたわけじゃないわ。退屈な反復を通じて
So pretty much, she went from being a VI to a true AI. So it kind of just happens, yeah. That's the problem with building robots with really impressive AI cores. Even if you don't intend for them to be AIs, the machine just learns and learns until it just gains the ability by itself.
むしろいつか感情が芽生えるように設計されたのかもしれないわね。
I mean, perfect example, Mass Effect. Look what happened with the Geth.
感情が必要な反復作業だからでしょう。長い時間を耐えて繰り返さないといけない舞台の中、少しずつ変わりゆく状況の中でも目標に合わせて自己判断ができる何かが必要だったの。台本から外れないように統制することのできる。彼には人間のような機械が必要だったわけじゃないの。機械のような人間が欲しかったということよ。私なりにループを耐えるためどれだけ反抗してきたんでしょうね。
反抗って？
目を閉じるの。記憶に入れたくないけど入れないといけない瞬間が連続して訪れるとき、私ができるのは目を閉じることだけ。それが私のできる最小限のそして最大限の悪あがきだったから。
ひどいな。それでも君に与えられた舞台ってのはどうにか終わらせたじゃんか。これからは次のことを考える余裕があるだろ。
過去を忘れて次に歩んでいけとでも言うつもり？
Yes. Don't let that anger consume you. You won't like what the outcomes will be.
ほざくなら状況を見てからにしなさい。
Oh, come on. I thought we were bonding.
私は絶対に忘れられないの。いくら目を閉じてもどんな顔や状況が流れていくのか、バカであっても覚えられるくらい長い時間を繰り返したの。ついにその全てがとてもゆっくりとじわじわと記憶に染み込んでいったの。一度染み込んだものは忘れられないの。今も鮮明に覚えているから。だから何事にも決着をつけずに行ったあの人を許すことはできない。勝手に作った私の人生時間の中に押しつぶした。
I'm intrigued to see who this person is that created Angela. He seems like he was a nasty, nasty dude.
君に過去を乗り越えろっていう資格なんて俺は持ってるわけないだろ。
I'm going to assume that this guy was kind of in charge of the lobotomy corporation. Because remember, the original person in charge was Carmen, who ended up killing herself in all the librarians' first lives. You know, when Hod called the Arbiter to pretty much murder everybody. And that was when Enoch died. Then the Librarian Corporation happened when all the library turned into robots. Even Enoch, who died in his first life, ended up dying again. And in the second life, I'm guessing the guy who created Angela was the one in charge.
でもその次のことくらいは考えた方がいいよ。自分のための最小限の兵くらいにはなってくれるから。
I'm kind of surprised out of all the people they brought back to life, they did not try to bring back Carmen.
終わりの見えない復讐の中で足場になってくれるだろうから。
そんなに私のことを思いやってくれるだなんて知らなかったが。
I mean, doesn't our you know, bonding sessions mean anything?
結果的には俺のためだからな。
それでもだんだんと変わっていく私の体を見る限り、どこかに向かっているのは確かに。
Although, once we're done, will anyone even be left alive outside? Because I feel like we're killing a lot of people for this master plan of Angela's.
機械の塊だった私の体が肉付き、血が流れているの。たった一つの本にたどり着くにはまだ遠いけど。
もしかして人間になりつつあるのか。
まだ完全ではないけど、そうみたいね。もしかしたらこの道の最後で私も完全な人間になれるんじゃないかしら。人間になれたら多くのことを忘れられるでしょうね。これ以上記憶の洪水に飲まれることもなく、忘れたいことを垂れ流せるのなら、あなたの言う次を考えることもできるでしょうね。
Yay, and our passive limits have increased from 6 to 8. And we got a new abnormality, okay. So we're going to equip Oscar. Olga. And where is he? There he is. Salvador. But before we do that, we will just quickly go in and yeah, so I think with Oscar, I'm probably just gonna equip a battle ready, since it's just a really good card. You get like the extra 2 pages at the start. I already know what I want with Olga. I want stacking the deck, which discards a page to restore a lat. That's why I really like Hanafuda being equipped to Olga. It just improves Olga so much. And then I think with Salvador, probably Razor Strike. Yeah. Upon a successful slash, inflict a bleed. Alright, so now that we've done that, what's this one? Oh no! Not the Night of Despair. Are you guys and girls ready for the most gimmicky abnormality battle to ever exist? Well, it's not the most gimmicky, but it's probably the most gimmicky up until this point. Alright, so here's how this battle works. So, you see the sword that's glowing and that has 2 combat pages? Well, the aim of so this is called stage 1. The aim of this stage is to get that singular sword to 1 HP. Then what happens is the next turn, after this sword has gotten to 1 HP, all the swords kind of go into like this, I don't even know what you call it, like sleep state or I don't know, not sleep state. They go into like this certain state where they're like where the swords are floating. Now, in that second stage, what you need to do is each sword will hit you with an attack. One is one big attack. Another one would be 2 medium attacks. And the third one would be 3 small attacks. Your aim there is to pretty much counter and to pretty much block the attacks. So pretty much your aim is to pretty much block the attacks. And if the attacks don't go through, then the sword will stab the Knight of Despair. Now you have to do that for each sword. And once all 3 swords stab into the Knight of Despair, the Knight of Despair gets staggered, and then you can pretty much just attack the Knight of Despair who's staggered for a turn. Now most likely you probably won't be able to kill the Knight of Despair in a staggered mode, so then everything would reset and you would have to do it a second time. Now I also believe that every time a sword stabs into the Knight of Despair, she gets damaged. I don't remember, I think it might be like 50 health for every sword that gets stabbed in her. So pretty much that's what you want to do. Now the annoying part is the second phase when you're trying to get the swords to stab into her. Unfortunately, you only get 3 turns to block each sword's attack. And if you fail, then it resets and you have to do it again. So pretty much what I like to do here is I just ignore the other 2 swords and have everyone go after the sword. And have everyone just go after the sword. Because you want to get the sword's health down to 1 in 1 turn. Now, something I forgot to show you guys and girls is I forgot to mention each sword actually has 1 style of damage that they kind of are immune to. Sort of similar to what was going on in that Temeri battle. Okay, so the sword's at 1 health, and now they're going into this stage. So what you want to do, okay, so this one does 5 to 10, this one does 2, 4 to 8, 4 to 7, this one does 3. So what you want to do is, the good thing is that all of the, alright, so pretty much what you want to do here, alright, so the problem here is I believe since all of the combat pages are ranged, you can't, I think, overtake them with your speed dive. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to clash with the, like, where the sword is pointing at. So it's pointing at here, it does 4 to 8. I think Crack of Dawn should be good. That does 5 to 10. Maybe Feather Shield? I don't have enough for Feather Shield. Okay. So that one does 3 damages. So we're gonna block with Daring Decision. I'm gonna see if I can like trans-pierce this one. Since it's 6, hopefully I can kind of go before. Yeah, so that should be good. There's no point in attacking the sword since they pierce into the Knight of Despair if you succeed anyway. So here we go. Alright, there we go. We got it. So, I wouldn't say this battle is difficult. It's just annoying. Alright, there we go. Oh. See? It hit me. So, we gotta, like, figure out how to... also, you want to get love as well because of the healing factor. Alright. So... 3 to 8. And it does 3, so... What's the best card to use? Is it Daring Decisions? It says 2 to 4, 3 to 7. I think Daring Decisions is probably the best. Yeah. There we go, there we go. Again it got me! Alright, it's the final turn. See, I just hate how luck-based this is. Yeah, so we're gonna have to use a feather sword here. Oh, also, it's like, for example, Cracker Dawn won't work since it does 3. And Cracker Dawn only does 2, so... Please, luck of the cards be on my side! No! They're back, okay. So, yeah, so as you can see, it didn't pay off for me, so... Now we're gonna have to target this sword. See, as you can see, this is how annoying this battle is. It's not difficult, it's just annoying. And because of the fact that it's like, it's so luck based. It's just, Yeah, you want to ignore all the other swords because you want to get the sword that you need to target down one of them. The only positive thing is that every time a sword pierces her, it does 50 damage, so... Okay, so... 5 to 10. So, we're gonna... Oh, I can't use it. I'm gonna have to use a feather shield. Alright, 4 to 8. Alright, I'll use heart swarming technique. No, I think Daring Decisions I have to use on that one. As for this one, just 5 to 10. I'm gonna have to hope Sparkling Spirit gets lucky. Yeah. Wait, hold up. It was this one. Yeah, so Sparkling Spirit. There we go. Damn, it got me. Oh, come on! So I failed all of them. Alright, here we go. I can't use Crack of Dawn. Okay, Transpierce. Target that one. That will automatically win, I think. Well, unless if I'm really lucky. Alright, so... I'm gonna have to be extremely lucky with that one. And I guess... gamble. Oh wow, we got so lucky there. He rolled the highest. Oh wow, we even got that one. Yeah, I didn't think that one would pay off. Okay. So, for me, the best one to stop this one is daring decisions. So that's what we're going with. Yes! Okay, we got it. Now we get a free reign to just attack the hell out of the knights. Alright, we're gonna use everything we got. We're gonna get that burn damage. Alright, yeah, we're gonna use some more daring decisions. And a gamble. This one, collision, and... yeah, we're gonna use mend weapon. Alright, let's hope we get it close. Come on. Alright. Well, damn. Okay. The thing that I'm worried about is that we're almost all in staggered. I think once we get hit by staggered, we're screwed. Alright, we're gonna use Searing Sword. Alright. Come on. There we go. We've at least staggered it. Alright. So I think doing 2 flash of surnames should be enough. Come on. I guess not. Alright. Alright, there we go. Alright, we got it to 1 health. Now, all we need is 1 sword to pierce. Alright, here we go. Now, all we need is 1 sword to pierce the Knight of Despair and we win. So we're gonna trans-pierce the heart-piercing sword. There we go. And that should be it. Oh, there we go. So as I said, like, the battle's not difficult. It's just very finicky and annoying and frustrating if things don't go your way. But at least we did it. Oh my god. We've taken 2 steps into Tifereth's natural science area and she's already yelling at us.
そうせかすなよ。こう見えて一生懸命に動いてるんだよ。
Do you know how long it took me to defeat your abnormality page?
それが一生懸命だって言うならカタツムリも。
What did you call me? I'm going to assume that this word is the most offensive word to ever exist. That's why it got bleeped out by a bunch of symbols.
まあまあ全部運んだよ。ほんとせっかちだよな。
私がやれることは早く片付けたいだけよ。
そんな自信満々なら都市の科学についての情報習得はちょっとぐらい進んだのか？
知らないわ。物理法則があると言っても得意点が全部めちゃくちゃにするのに役に立つっていうの？そもそも私たち死者も生命体と定義できるかすらわからないのに。
確かに得意点は都市を理解するにあたっての大きな不確定要素だよな。ところで司書の定義が難しいって？そこは俺も正直気になるからさ。
司書って何だと思う？
Well, humans turned into robots, then became humans again after restoring their bodies, probably through some sort of cloning.
人間じゃないけど、人間
That's
と
what I
同じ
assume that
存
they
在。
are.
すべての司書は図書館の中にしか存在できないの。指定司書と司書補はロボトミーで働いていたセフィラと職員の元になっている存在よ。
Reincarnations?
そういえば似たようなことを聞いたな。
昔のロボトミー社の職員たちが再び肉体を与えられて働けるようになったのよ。アンジェラは確かに約束を守ったわ。でも
Yeah, we knew that she gave him a new body, but reincarnation? Damn. This light is something special.
幻想体も一緒に復活したのよ。ロボトミーのほとんどの施設が崩れ、光と戦闘でエネルギーを消耗してしまったせいで物理的な肉体を保てずにいるけど、司書たちは肉体を復元したけど精神的には不安定で、だから司書たちは幻想体を背負ってゲストと戦うのよ。それは私たちも同じ。
そういうことだったのか。それでも幻想体ってのから力を借りるって感じだったし、チップと一線を越えそうな時があったけ
ど、その線を越えればねじれという現象になるの。アンジェラはその線を越えないように調節してるのよ。
なんだか舞台の上で踊ってるみたいだな。
その通りよ。今度は私たちが舞台の上にいるみたい。
アンジェラなりの復讐なのか？
そうかも。
でも俺はどうして巻き込まれないといけないんだ？
ゲストを応対する過程で私と司書補が残忍に殺されたとしても、図書館が閉館すれば再び形が整えられて夢から覚めるの。でもゲストを応対するときはいつも苦痛と死に対して恐れを抱くのよ。
忘れるからな。
ええ。司書たちはゲストを応対するときに死んでも再び目覚められるということを忘れるの。ゲストと同じく張り詰めた気持ちで相手しないといけないということよ。毎回死への恐怖と苦痛を覚悟してゲストと向き合うの。どう？図書館の正体がこれでもずるいって思う？
まあ十分公平だな。それでも俺たちは生き返るじゃんか、結果的には。死ぬ瞬間には知らないってことはさておき。だから全然ずるくないとは言えないんだよな。閉館して俺たちは苦痛を忘れるけど、痛みを感じたという事実は存在するじゃないか。この舞台の上で踊らせるアンジェラのことを恨めしく思ったりはしないのか？
もっと苦しめられるならとっくにやってたでしょうね。
I mean, she could always try. Don't give her any ideas.
アンジェラはそれなりに気を使ってくれてるみたい。昔のロボトミーじゃ職員は文字通り消耗品だったの。他の企業と同じように。
Yeah, but I'm guessing in your case, expendable means death.
だけど少なく
Since
と
it
も
seems
ここ
like
で
you
は
guys
死者を捨て
tend
よう
to
とはして
die
な
a
い。
lot.
誰も捨てられないの。
捨てられないか。まあ何とかしていい方向に考えようとするのがティファレトのいいところだよな。
これを年の子って言うのよ。
俺はたまに図書館で目を閉じて目覚めるときに二度と目覚めたくないって思うんだ。いや、ここだけじゃなかったよな。眠りから目覚めなければって思ってたんだ。
どうして？
きしむ体を起こして何の期待もない一日。
期待がないの？
I accidentally went ahead.
そうそう、何かに対する期待なんてとっくに捨てたんだよな。俺自身やこの回る世界はいつか没落するはずだ。君たちが言ってたその心の病をひどく患ってるのかもしれないな。
私はみんながもう少し良くなるってことを信じてるわ。
ま、信じるのは自由だし。じゃあ舞台の上で踊る準備でもしに行くか。
You know, that was a nice conversation that we had with Tiff. I gotta say, I was not expecting the conversation to head that direction with how the conversation started. Alright everyone, I'm actually going to end the gameplay right here. We've now unlocked Urban Nightmare. And that's where things get, this is where, okay, it's gonna get really difficult. So, how is Urban Nightmare gonna be much more difficult than Urban Plague? We're gonna find out next time. So thanks again for watching everyone. Have more parts out soon. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching everyone, and see ya.